Blaine Fowler is joining us in Studio B. Yesterday it was Robbie Bosco, your good buddy, your golfing partner, former quarterback that you played with, and now you're here to set the record straight, right?
What's up, Blaine?
We're a couple of sad guys because we'll call each other and to go play golf, and then we'll admit we don't have any other friends. It's like, so you really need to come play, Rob. And he's like, why? Can't you get somebody else? Like, I don't have any other friends. And then 2 days later, he'll call and say, yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't have any other friends either. So will you come play with me? So we just play with each other. We play golf with each other all the time.
That's awesome. After Further Views back tonight, what can we expect on the season debut?
Yeah, so for August, we've got a little bit different theme as we gear up. We'll be previewing the season, of course, a little bit every one of these episodes in the month of August, but we're gonna take a look back at the greatest game-winning drives in BYU history over the course of this month.
Nice.
So it'll be really fun. There's some recent ones that we forget about, but it's gonna be a fun theme for the month of August and get our juices flowing and ready to go for football.
Looking forward to it. Are you wearing the pink shirt on AFR tonight?
I'm thinking about it, but I have to rock a jacket somehow, so I'm thinking maybe a light blue jacket with this might just make everything pop. and I'm trying to give Bilo a little bit of a run for his money.
Oh, I like it.
Which is not easy to do. And so I thought I got to go a little bit out there, a little bit outside of my comfort zone. So I might go pink and light blue tonight.
All right. You'll have to watch after Further Review to find
if I
out.
dare. You're going to see if I actually dare, because I'm thinking about it. But if I dare, then that's what I'll do.
I triple dog dare you.
That's it. I'm doing it now.
I knew you would do it.
He just went right out of protocol.
Boom,
He didn't. He
triple.
went right to triple dog dare.
Okay, our question of the day. What would you think about Zach Wilson being the starter at Arizona? What do you think?
I struggle with it just a little bit, and I didn't get to see Robbie yesterday because I was out of town, and I don't know if you asked him that question, but it's so hard as a freshman to be able to see everything the way you want to see it. When I watch Zach this first week of practice, and I've seen him a bunch, his skills are amazing.
His technique is amazing.
You could make a training video on quarterback mechanics. Like, his feet are really good. He's confident. He gets the ball up. He got great velocity on the ball. He's really, really accurate. And he seems to be really poised. But here's the hard part. You know, you say, hey, the guys are going for the job in fall camp. We still don't know if any of them can play yet, other than the ones that have already played, because you never in fall camp say, hey, the quarterbacks are live, go ahead and smack them in the face on the pass rush. You don't. So you base your decision on 7-on-7 and 1-on-1, and they all look phenomenal. And then once in a while, like Saturday, they let them get after a little bit. They still can't hit the quarterback. So if a D lineman comes free on an inside gap, he knows he's just supposed to veer away from the quarterback, and the quarterback stands in there and throws a complete for a touchdown when he's actually going to be sacked. And we don't know what he will do in a game when that protection breaks down inside like that. And there's other instances. There was a play yesterday we were watching where right at the end, they threw a crossing route touchdown pass, and everyone was like, ooh, and I'm going, that's a terrible decision, because it was thrown into coverage, and that receiver was going to get knocked out cold on that route. That was no way was that a completion if the DBs are allowed to hit the receiver. So you can only do so much with your evaluation in the fall, and so you have to have some of, do we know they can play? Now, we've seen Zach Wilson in high school. He's a phenomenal player. Seems like a gamer, right? But until we get him out in the game, we don't know that. I think it's a lot of pressure to go against the team speed of an Arizona and a Cal, and then to go against what's probably a top 5 defense in Wisconsin right out of the chutes. So if you feel confident, and I'll tell you who's really played well in fall, Tanner Mangum has played really well in fall. And Joe's been good. The first 4 days, I thought, man, BYU's in good shape this year.
With Tanner and Joe.
All 3 guys are playing well, and I'm looking at Zach going, and this kid's phenomenal talent. And I visited with him for a long time after Saturday, and he's got the mentality to play too. So I feel like they're in a great spot from a quarterback perspective, but as you go into that opener, you have to take into consideration, well, who do I know can play in a college football game? So that's part of the waiting. So unless Zach Wilson is so much better that he outweighs the experience that Tanner and Joe have, then you probably start with one of the more veteran guys. Now, I think quarterback, I've always, even when I was playing it, should be like any other position. So if the starter's there, it's not, hey, you're the starter and no matter what happens, you're there. I like Mike Leach's mentality a little bit. Not quite as dramatic as Mike Leach, where he just yanks the guy at any moment. But, hey, if the guy's not performing consistently, his performance has dropped off, then you go to the next guy, especially when you've got 3 and even 4 really talented players there. So I think there's a lot that has to go into consideration, and we have to be careful with who we think is great in fall because quarterbacks don't ever get smacked around in fall camp.
Uncle B, Blaine Fowler, dual threat analyst, national champion quarterback at BYU, is with us on BYU Sports Nation. I made the comparison of Zach Wilson to Buzz Lightyear. He's the shiny new toy in Toy Story. Everybody's excited. Look at all of his gadgets and what he brings. And Tanner Mangum is Woody. Okay? Still great value there, but it's kind of old news, and he's been the leader for a while. We get caught up so much in new, now, next, shiny. Oh, it's so exciting. Do you think that's a fair comparison? And I feel like as Buzz Lightyear did in Toy Story, he had that reality moment where he jumps off the stairs like, I can fly, and then bang, down to the ground.
That's September.
Okay,
but
I feel like that would be September if you. I
like the analogy. I think Zach is better than Buzz. I think he's better than Buzz. So Buzz
is awesome.
I think because I don't think Buzz could ever do some of the things he thought he could do. But I think over time Zach is going to be able to do everything he thinks he can do.
That's the thing. Let's limit the reality check moment.
I like to bring him along. I really like the new red shirt rule where we can bring him along, and I think it's in the best interest of him. You talk about playing for the future. Even if you're playing for the future, don't you bring along your prodigy in a way that builds his confidence and allows him to have success rather than throw him in against a top 5 defense 3 games in. And Washington's got 9 starters back on defense. They're going to be the best defense in the Pac-12. So you could really ruin somebody's confidence. And, on the other side, I've been watching Tanner Mangum this last week, and my opinion last year was he had all these lower body injuries and all these problems. And he was trying to come back and play and do all of that. And his mechanics were flawed, but it was from the ground up. And good quarterbacks always have great feet. That's where it starts. If your feet aren't right, the ball comes out weird, your arm drops into a different position to compensate. And so I think the injuries contributed to that. Then when he wasn't throwing the ball really well, I think it really hurt his confidence.
Absolutely.
So you had a confidence issue, which I think started with footwork. So now I'm watching him this fall, and I'm going, hey, his footwork looks good again. He looks like he's confident. He looks like he knows what he's doing. Now, I need to see him back in a game too to see if that holds up. But through 1 week, I'm going, yes, I like this.
Don't you think the coach is saying to him after this heated competition, you're our guy, would do infinite wonders for his confidence?
It would help. And I think you can say you're a guy, but you've got to perform at a level.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. We haven't even talked about Joe Critchlow. I'm watching Joe, and I'm going, man, this guy, he just is steady, solid, good.
Poise.
Right? And so he's making good reads. The ball's coming. He's doing really good things. And I'm thinking we wouldn't be that bad off if Joe Critchlow were in there.
Agreed.
And there's something to be said for solid and not making mistakes. Because right now, I would just like somebody to play that position that doesn't lose games for us. I don't think that guy has to win games and carry the team on his shoulders right now. And so right now, who doesn't? And Critchlow could make a really strong case that, listen, I'm not going to go out and lose a game for you. I'm going to manage this thing. And he's got a nice upside too.
Doesn't BYU have to go and win 4 of those 5 games though in September that are against Power 5s, 3 on the road?
No,
they have to go and win them. They're not going to be in a position to not lose, right?
No.
They have to be aggressive.
But no, I'm saying is the quarterback doesn't have to win the game. Who has to win the game is the offensive line has to win the game. The O-line has to knock people off the ball. They have to run the football. They got to control it. The defense has to not give up big plays and force turnovers.
Yeah.
The quarterback needs to not lose it. When I say not lose it, he can't get hit, fumble the ball, and turn it over and give the other team a 10-yard field. He can't throw a pick that goes for 6. He can't, and so he doesn't have to go out and go, I got to go throw 5 touchdowns because this offense has to carry this football team, and that's how we're going to beat Cal, Arizona, Wisconsin before they get to McNeese State. No, the quarterback needs to say, I'm going to move the chains. I'm going to manage the game. I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'm going to get us into the right stuff, and I'm going to take care of the ball. I'm going to let this offensive line do their job because they look phenomenal in this first week, and then that defense has got to be stellar. So the pressure needs to be on everybody else right now, and the quarterback needs to manage the game early on. And then if that quarterback can develop, I think Zach Wilson a couple years from now is a guy that can go, well, hey, let me go win the game. Like Jim McMahon used to, like Steve Young used to.
The manager.
Let me take over the game. He can be that guy, but it's hard to be that guy as a freshman.
Well, it helps when you have some good weapons around you as well. At running back, at wide receiver, we will discuss those at length with you moving forward. I know that those things will be discussed on After Further Review at some point. Watch Blaine tonight. In the pink, apparently, on After Further
Triple
Review.
dog dare. I have no choice now.
He ain't scared. Blaine, great to talk to you, man. Awesome stuff.
Thanks,
Blaine.
guys.